Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Oh, so happy it's Thursday. I even organized it on the little thumbnail so you guys can figure it out.
Yeah. Oh
Happy
shoot.
Thursday.
We never. Yeah. There's nothing to. Yeah.
There you go. Late night language, people. I can't promise. For those of you who are customers to my store, you know the kind of language I use. So, unless your kids are around, or unless grandma or mom's around. But yeah, there we go. So before we even get started, so those of you who are having your bell on and like you should for all of our stuff, all of our content, you probably just got the alert just before we went on the air of the Beekeeper screening tomorrow. I am only going to do one. There's a reason why, because I'm probably going to end up leaving from the store. Either depending on what other stream I may be on, to go see Planet of the Apes. I did not get the opportunity tonight to do so, and I got AC issues that were still getting fixed at both here and at the store. So the day's kind of compressed. But 4 p.m. tomorrow, we are doing our Patreon watch along. Now, after careful and consideration, I was going to make this a Patreon exclusive, and only the Patreons were. But I talked to some of our Patreons, and I wanted to make sure we were doing things for them that were sort of exclusive. And most of them are okay with just being the host on there with us. Also, the way we're going to do this is how we've done past screenings. We're not going to use Twitch, but we will use an internal YouTube page so that we're not violating any copyright. So you'll have a link, the host will have a link directly to the StreamYards link that will put them on the screen, but the rest of you will have a link that will lead you to a non-live YouTube page. So we'll all be there watching the movie, but that will not be broadcasting. So only the people who are there at that time will be able to watch Beekeeper with us tomorrow at 4 p.m. All right. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you can use the link that is in the description to join the Patreon. Or I'll put it in here. You can also leave a tip via Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/the Sci-Fi Center /tip. You can leave a question or request. I am in the process of starting this Saturday, and I'll have another announcement pretty soon as far as what our watch along schedule is for this Saturday, because we got some that we have to get out of the way and get done. Like I say, it's going to take us a while to get through a lot of these because as we were getting them, we were racing to reach that deadline. But now that the deadline is over, the charity is pretty much that leg of the fundraiser is over with. We're going to start hitting the backlog that we have beginning this Saturday. We might do one or two, definitely one, possibly two. It all depends on which ones we end up doing this Saturday. But we're definitely, they will not be in any particular order. I don't know if because like I said, when I looked at the donations, it's kind of confusing. So we're just gonna hit them all. So all right, Brad, you just got done with Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, well, no, not just. I saw it about 2 hours ago and got back home from it, and I really enjoyed this one. It's interesting with like the trajectory of the new of the modern Planet of the Apes series, because this feel you could definitely feel the kind of the gap from the last one to this one, which has been about 7 years. But that works to its advantage in a lot of ways, because it's showing much more the passage of time. As
It's a
the
300 year. It's a 300 year.
yeah, exactly,
in
exactly.
story,
So
yeah, 300 year.
yeah, so that is advantageous towards the storytelling. There's definitely Easter eggs towards and that's something that's also really the modern franchise is really managed really well, is implementing different sort of connective tissue and homages and things like that to the original series. This does that, and at different points I won't say exactly what. The gist of it is the ape society is it's a little bit fractured and a little bit tribalized, and there's kind of a conflict that erupts between these two factions within the ape culture, at this stage, in the future. And there's some more stuff that kind of involves some of the humans, and I'll there are spoilers involved with that, so I'll leave that alone. But yeah, overall, I did like it a lot. I probably would rank this in the modern Planet of the Apes series. I probably would rank the second to Dawn for me personally. I think this one really this one really this really stands up well in the series. And Dawn, as you guys said, Dawn is the one I personally rank as the greatest Planet of the Apes movie ever made. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and this rates a pretty close second for me. So I did like Kingdom quite a lot. I think if you're a fan of
Good.
yeah, that'll just wrap it up there.
Okay, yeah, I think I will. Well, I'm definitely going to go in and see it tomorrow night. So I'll have my own review when you guys see me after that. So we got that to look forward to, and then I guess there has been. I woke up to casting news. I didn't even put that in the thumbnail.
Oh yeah. I saw. In fact, I was thinking about that. Like, what's it? Well, we're not getting the cloud, I guess, this time. So
we're actually getting Galactus, and I got a lot of people, because I talk to people that I talk to here in Vegas who are like, how come you're more excited about the casting of Galactus in a movie that's even further away than Superman was, than I was about, the things that are going on in DCU. Is just don't care what's going on in DCU right now. Marvel has done things to make me care.
Yeah.
About
one word circumstances is really, I can boil it down to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's, people may not be happy with the current state of MCU at some point, but that's only because you have something to compare it to. You're mad now because of what you were exposed to, what you saw. You now have a standard that you want upheld, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's not, in the past 7 years, there hasn't been a standard with Warner Brothers and DC. So
they got it back briefly, and they said, piss off.
Yeah, even though, like I said, Fantastic Four is further down the line, I actually have no doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. There's no doubt in my mind that things like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 4 are going to happen. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to get X-Men and Mutants. No doubt in my mind. There's no, and there's no doubt in my mind that who's going to be, for the most part, running it. Even when that person had a different boss over him, that person still weathered the storm, is still there. I mean, Kevin Feige's still there. So I don't have a lot to worry about when it comes to things like FF and Galactus and all that. So when you don't have those things to worry about, when you know for a fact that your time is not going to be wasted, it's a little bit easier to invest in these things, even if they are far apart or far down. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was going to attack on it. There's no pending umpteenth merger. There's no 7 years of baggage and heartbreak and broken promises, and one in particular that's was a really harsh one within very recent memory. And there's no there's no consistent lack of follow through and bad studio management. So yeah, it's like if you're and I said before, it's like I'm not. It's I always have to qualify this when I say this, where it's like I'm not a particularly big Fantastic Four fan, but it's like I still understand their significance to Marvel lore and to comic book history and to superhero history. So which you have you have to qualify with that, because it's like whether or not you're fan of the character specifically, is kind of irrelevant to the history that they represent, the significance they represent within the genre, the medium of it. So, I always I always have to put that out. It's like it's not I'm like an anti Marvel's First Family guys. It's just when it comes to teams, they're just not really my team. They really have been, but I definitely recognize their importance. Don't get me wrong on that. But
and also it represents the evolution to the next step up to the storytelling that we've already had. We're moving up now. We're moving up to a cosmic evolutionary scale that we just weren't dealing with the Infinity Saga. So I'm happy for that. So
yeah. So and even with everything I laid out there, it's like I can be reasonably confident I'm going to be seeing a Fantastic Four movie within the next 2 years, as opposed to everything that has been laid out within DC Studios' perspective. I mean, that's what you have to do with the way this company has been run. It's like you have to classify it as prospective plans. You have to classify it as tentative plans. You have to classify it as this. Once you've proven to me you're going to follow through on this, and you're not going to rip my heart out and tell me you're performing life-saving surgery again, it's like then I can follow you to wherever you're going. But we're just not over that hump yet. I don't know that we're going to be in the foreseeable future, barring again like new management coming in and like just waking up and smelling the coffee finally. But just everything William laid out there, it's where I stand on as a kind of a Fantastic Four agnostic. And then the X-Men, of course, I have much more of much more of a history with an attachment to, and they're of course feel the same way on that. So yeah, but yes, okay.
There is a way you can lose me with the X-Men. There is a way. I think you guys know what's coming.
Yeah.
You love your cartoon, and that's great. I'm happy for you guys that love it, and it gives you something to watch. I will jump off this fucking boat quicker than you can say X-Men if you try to carry on that shit on to MCU X-Men. I don't even want to see the stuff from the X-Men movies I enjoyed carried over. I enjoyed those for what they were and when they were. Do not, under any circumstances, please go the nostalgia route when it comes to these characters. Give me something new and consistent with the universe that you've been building since 2008. Even the X-Men, I love X-Men Days of Future Past. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any resemblance of that in this new X-Men. I enjoyed the very first X-Men movie. I enjoyed Ian McClane. I enjoyed everything, for the most part, everything I saw. There were some clunkers there, but for the most part, the body of work that was the original X-Men movies, I enjoyed. But I don't want to see that going forward. All right? I don't want reruns. I don't want nostalgia. I don't want you poking at people's childhoods. We are grown fucking men going into the future. Let's go to the future. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit for the new X-Men stuff that's coming in MCU. You want to make X-Men 98, 99, 2000, all that, do whatever you want and keep that there in that little world. But all this time, we've been waiting to get this through the lens of what Kevin Feige has developed and been building all this time. Now he has an opportunity to present these things his way, not as an executive producer, not as as the guy, as the man. He has the opportunity, and I want to see what he has to offer. I want to see just the same way. You know what? I have fond memories of the first Fantastic Four movie. A lot of people think it's hokey and goofy, but I had a lot of fun with it. I don't care. No matter how much I love it, I don't want to. This Fantastic Four, I don't want to see any remnants of past shit going forward. We have that. So that's the only way that he could lose me when it comes to, this next step, is to take a half step and try to go for, childhood memories and shit. I was a child. We've all grown up. Let's enjoy that. If you want to continue that somewhere, that's fine. If they want to continue these things, but as far as the main line, Marvel Cinematic Universe, fuck no. Please don't do that. If he stays consistent and creative that he's been since he's helmed this, then that's what I have faith in. I have faith in Kevin Feige. A lot of people doubt him. I haven't, haven't always enjoyed everything that MCU has put out, Thor, but for the most part, Marvel hasn't wasted my time. I don't think they're going to. So I'm happy about Galactus, and like I said, it's my bucket list, man. I mean, Galactus. I mean, it's just and like I said, I was so disappointed with the Dust Monster.
Yeah, well, okay, especially because you could like see a subtle hint of like his outline up in that cloud. So, you see everybody's thinking like, oh, so he's like it's going to be this grand reveal when the Silver Surfer flies up, and so he's going to come out of the cloud. Even then, it's like it would have been a pretty brief appearance, but at least we would actually seen him. But
yeah,
no, he's just a space cloud that just vacuums up planets.
And then Surfer flies into the space cloud and kill. That's so stupid. But here, with everything that they've laid out, he is integral to what is coming. The Celestials are everything that they've laid out is integral into this next step. And like I said, this is the one I endured. Some of this, like I said, I can endure Love and Thunder when I know I got this coming. I can endure all the Thor movies because I thought like in Black, some of these movies were just bad, but they got the benefit of the doubt because of the resume. But now you got characters, and in my opinion, I don't think he can mess them up. I trust him with the Fantastic Four. I trust him with X-Men. So I'm ready for it. I'm happy.
Here's a question I've kind of had in my mind too, with as far as the X-Men goes. When do you think? And I don't think this is going to be soon. And the reason I don't is because Will and Brad versus. The reason I don't think this is going to be announced soon is because we've got Deadpool and Wolverine coming up this summer, and this doesn't strike me as something that they're going to. Again, they're not Warner Brothers. They're not going to announce something that undercuts something they have coming up. But when do you think we might hear the announcement or any kind of rumors of casting news for like the proper MCU Wolverine? Because it's going to be a period of time after Deadpool and Wolverine.
You're going to have at least one or two ways this can go down. It can show up as a cameo in this one, or it would be moved down the lines. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't bet against you seeing mutants, the established ones going forward in this movie. I'm not saying I haven't heard any inside or anything like that. I wouldn't be surprised because
So do you think they might have casting choices already for it? If that's what they end up doing, okay.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep that under their hat because then once the moment of them arrive, the arrival, I think is what they want to gather, because it's probably going to be people we don't know of anyway. It's probably going to be people who are making their starts and that you haven't seen around, and the role will make them the star at that point. So I wouldn't be surprised at seeing him. That would be awesome if it was, because like I said, I'm going to see Deadpool. First Deadpool movie I'm actually going to lay down money to see. But I'm not going to see it for Deadpool. I fucking hate the character. But I'm going for it because of the TVA, because of the ramifications, because this Deadpool movie is being used as a vehicle to get to the places I've been wanting to get to for 8-9 years now with Marvel. So I'm excited.
Yeah, but I don't, man. Whoever gets cast as the MCU Wolverine, that guy is got. I mean, literally, it's like Hugh Jackman. He has the record for like longest tenure of anybody in a superhero role, and I mean he's. I mean, the last time he was Wolverine, I mean, the whole thing was marketed on his retirement from the role. He's coming back for this again. It's it's even though it's a one-off, it's still a very heralded one-off for his return. And of course, the team up with Deadpool that Ryan Reynolds has been trying to make happen for so long. So it's like whoever is going to be his successor, I mean, hats off to the guy. It's like best of luck, but that is going to be, it's going to, it's like, and I hope whoever it is, it's like, it's very much, it's like, don't try to copy or mimic or emulate what Hugh Jackman did before. It's like, because it's like, you're not going to.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will. That would be WB's. That would be.
It's like trying, again, the trap they keep falling into. Like, we got to find a way to like recreate Christopher Reeve for the modern era. You can't do that. It's like, and people just can't get through their heads. So that's not workable with Superman, and that's not going to be workable with Wolverine after Hugh Jackman, the impact he's had on it. So, yeah, it'd be very much, you got to go as far in the opposite direction as you can with it.
I agree. Here's a major advantage that Marvel's always going to have in that regard, because I don't think that new Wolverine is going to have as many problems as a lot of people think, is because you have, for the most part, once a decision has been made, they don't blink.
Yeah.
Whoever they cast as Wolverine, that is the Wolverine he's giving you. That is the Wolverine you're taking. We're not going to listen to the fanboy whining. Take off the diapers and put on the grown people's drawers and move forward. They don't blink, and that's why I can trust them with this, because I know once the path has been started, for the most part, with very few variations, that's who I'm getting, and they're going to. I think that exudes to the audience too. Once they didn't know that the person making the decision, that this is it, this is what we're doing, come along with us on this, they generally will come along. And I think the MCU fans, they have primed them to accept these things. Now, there's been quality issues and things like that, but for the most part, they trust Kevin Feige.
Well, again, it's I mean, it's like you were saying earlier. I mean, we can definitely, especially with all the 16 years the MCU's been running. I mean, we could definitely go through the franchise and say it's like, yeah, there are things here that everybody will have different picks, but it's like there are things that are saying, yeah, this was not all it was cracked up to be at the time, but again, they had a plan this stuff too. I mean, there's a reason why. I mean, Captain Marvel is the one we kind of mutually cite a lot, where it's like, and you can even like now the proof is in the pudding. How's it going, Aaron? The proof is in the pudding. The Marvels came out and completely tanked, and the first one, Captain Marvel, did $1 billion, and it's like there's a reason for that, because the first one, it wasn't a phenomenon, it was riding the coattails of a phenomenon. That's why it did as well as it did, and then that's why you have the drop off with the Marvels, because it didn't have that that end game level energy, just cultural excitement to propel it like it did, and the fact that it was again pretty mediocre movie, it was definitely that all contributed to that. But again, Marvel, they had, as you say, the benefit of the doubt, because they had established a plan. This is where we're going. This is what we're determined to showcase. This is what the payoff is going to be. And there may be some bumps the road along the way, and we may tweak some things here and there, but we are not going to just take a hard left turn and just completely divert course. And they got the benefit of the doubt for that, and they got to the finish line of what they set out to do with Endgame. And that's where they are now, where they can they've had a rockier road and with a lot of things post Endgame, but I mean, they still have big hits like Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness. So they that's why they
which was not a very good movie for the movie.
I like it more than William does.
The more I watch it, I see there's a Sam Raimi movie in there that's waiting to burst out and be unchanged, but I just didn't get that movie, and I paid a lot of money to rent out a theater to show that.
But even that though, it's again, it's like even that.
But financially, it's a $900 million movie.
Yeah, so. Even that, and they again, because they didn't do a Justice League, with any of their anything they've done when
and I like that. A lot of people liked it. I just didn't. No, I never watched Man. No, I did. I watched a couple episodes. I'm sorry, with my dad, but because he watches those old shows on UHF.
And here's the thing. Also, going back to Galactus and the Silver Surfer, where we're getting, because I'm not that big a fan of the Fantastic Four movies that came out in the early 2000s, but the Silver Surfer Human Torch chase, you got to give us something that cool at least, because if we're not liking the movie that much, that is still pretty awesome chase scene. That's by far the best Fantastic Four thing I think we've ever gotten in live action so far, is the Human Torch, Silver
Surfer.
Yeah, I got to meet him at a con about 9 years ago. He's pretty cool dude.
I might meet him at this coming in Vegas. It is when I am talking about trying to derive things from a cartoon and transfer them to a format where they do not belong. A cartoon and to itself, no, not. I mean, I watch a lot. I mean, we're gonna watch Akira here pretty soon. I'm not against animation. I'm against anything that has undue influences on platforms that it should not have. So there you go. Clarify that one. Let's see. Sort of, but I just clarified that.
Larry also says TVA plus Wolverine actually has me. Wolverine kind of just
in
isolation.
Well, TVA, not the Wolverine.
Well, Wolverine in isolation. The fact that it's R-rated again, it's like, and the fact they said we're not. This is going to be. He's a variant. He's not the same as in Logan. So we're going to let that. We're going to let that rest, and this is going to be. It's still Hugh Jackman, but we're still telling you the Wolverine story. I'm almost going into this more as a Wolverine movie than a Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Because Hugh Jackman, what more can you say? It's like his portrayal of Wolverine. It's like it's defined the character for a quarter century now. So, the fact that there's like, okay, we got one more with him, and the way they're managing that is it's not stepping on the toes of what he initially set out was going to be his retirement. It was a swan song with Logan. That's really got me psyched for Deadpool and Wolverine. And the trailer looks pretty damn good with what they've shown with him in Deadpool and Wolverine. We got the comic accurate suit, and even they're even with like the initial looks we got, it's still going to be dropping the sleeves. So yeah, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is and I do like I'm definitely a bigger Deadpool movie fan, I think, than William is. But yeah, again, Wolverine just on his own really is the big pull for me in this. But the team up of him and Deadpool also is definitely a pretty close second to that. Everything you say about the TVA, it's like it's kind of where I'm kind of along for the ride for that. It's like I'm not like
That's what's
I'm not
bringing
like
me in.
I'm not losing sleep like developing fan theories over that. Maybe is the way to put it. It's cool. It's cool to see how this is going to impact the franchise.
What's the basis of the story? It's literally why we inhabit Deadpool 3.
Why they can have a Deadpool in the MCU, yeah.
Well, and plus what's coming forward. So basically, like I said, this Deadpool is a tool to tell the next step. And like I said,
well, go ahead. I'll get my words.
Yeah, if it weren't for that fact, this would be the third Deadpool movie that I watched.
Well, here's another thing I was thinking about too, because this is where the complaint you've always been making about Warner Brothers, their handling of DC, and the fact that, and you prefer Elseworlds as the term for them over multiverse, but again, the fact that that so much of the decision making since the formation of DC Studios has been, we're only doing like a singular thing. We're not going to have these things coexist, even though Elseworlds is so much part and parcel of the DNA of DC as an IP. And again, that's also been cited as the reason why Superman and Lois is going to be ending with season 4. Do you think that the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be so steeped in the multiverse is that? I mean, it's because let's face it. I mean, with the logic that the business model that even David Zaslav has presented in what he's wanted to do with the DC IP. I mean, he's again cited James Gunn. He's the guy over at Marvel who made Guardians a big hit. Why isn't he running DC? It's still very clear that even the current decision makers, again, when this new merger or sale is going to happen, they're still very much looking across to the other office for their decision making. But do you think that, like, with the multiverse being so integral to Deadpool and Wolverine, like that could also like maybe give them cause to like raise their eyebrows to say, maybe we're shortchanging this Elseworlds thing, more than we're giving it credit for?
No, for a bunch of reasons. The difference in the way it's being used could never be used for DC. See, and this goes back to all mediums that Marvel ever does this in. Marvel uses a multiverse as a plot device.
Yeah.
With DC,
it's their DNA. It's their DNA.
It's a way of life because of the nature of the company, because of the Silver Age, the Golden Age, and these characters are already in existence. And you really, instead of explaining away of why you had this Flash, this Green, you just embedded that reasoning within the matrix of your company.
I mean, what's the Flash cover that has like Barry on one side and Jay Garrick on the other? They rush into the woman saying, "It's like, I'm coming to save you." Like I forget what Jay cover that is, but that's like, again, that's like that is so. As we've said before on the show, it's like again, Marvel, when they use the multiverse and they use it for like specific stories, they use it as a plot device. With DC, you can't take Elseworlds, multiverse, whichever term you prefer to use, but you can't take that out of DC without fundamentally changing DC.
Yeah, because you have the JSA. You used to have the annual JSA versus JLA where they would cross universes and come together. You had the entire, universe that existed pre-crisis. You have the universe that sort of exists now. You have all. It's always been there. See, with Marvel, it's a plot device to tell specific stories. With DC, these characters that exist, the Earth 1 Superman, Earth 2, these characters have existed. They're not just a story. They are brought in for storyline purposes, but they exist beyond that. And see, I don't think you would, I don't think James Gunn would ever use that as an inspiration. Now, he may do it, but I don't think it would be inspired by what they're doing, because after this is all done, there won't be a Marvel multiverse. They'll have one. They'll have
it's
one.
meant to it's meant to consolidate. And as William has said, with like things like Crisis and New 52, and what Jeff Johns was trying to do with the Doomsday Clock is like every time they try to consolidate, they just end up splitting back into parallel universes 5 years later, or even sooner. So, that's the kind of
with Marvel, it didn't. What they do is kind of stupid sometimes. Their reboots and retcons, but it's not as damaging as what DC does. When DC does it, it's damaging because you're talking about decades more history. You're talking about the entire perception of these characters being changed and retcon. When you took away one of the reasons why, like
thank you, Jargo. Thank you, Jargo. I just point out the last story.
Yeah, it was technically the first or at the time multiverse story, but when you take a character like Superman, who has a child version of himself that literally spawned the Legion of Superheroes, and then you eliminate that, and then some of the other stuff that they've done, and then you constantly do it over and over again instead of, like I said, embracing those decades, it hurts them. With Marvel, like I said, you for the most part, they stick with their sacred timeline. You have other things that happen outside of it, but it's different in DC. So no, I don't think James Gunn will be do anything as a result.
Okay, because that's also kind of pending again as we keep having to qualify. It's like this latest the company, as we were like reading off the Zaslav interview a few nights ago. So the company is in such a state of instability. And this talk of another merger is so omnipresent. There's like again, we don't.
Well, they're making more cuts. Like
so we don't know who's going to have David Zaslav's job by Christmas, but we're fairly confident it's not David Zaslav.
Or who's going to be in the company. I would be surprised, but if it's him, like I said, they just announced more cuts today. I'm like, what else are you cutting, dude? You can only cut so much to where you no longer are able to produce the quality that people expect from you. This is not the Discovery Channel. This is not the Discovery Network. You're dealing with things and IPs that are legendary. I'm wondering where these cuts are coming from. So
it's kind of like it's like the idea like the human body can only bleed so much. I think it's like something like there's 10 pints of blood, and we can once you bleed more than 5, your body can't replenish that, and that's like we're seeing so much in that all the cuts that has been made under his tenure. It's like at some point when you like passing that 5 pint threshold with the amount of bleeding that you're doing, in the interest, as you claim, of stabilizing the company, but you're actually like you're just taking so much of the meat off of the steak that it's like you're just left with the bone.
I hope the optimal outcome for me is somebody with or some company with unlimited or near unlimited deep pockets purchases Warner Brothers, because I don't think you can cut corners with Warner Brothers and still be as effective as they need to be. Scared money doesn't make money, and to me, they're all about scared money right now. And also, if you're in the process of doing things like that, where's your mindset going to be? Is your mindset in the right place that it needs to be to withstand what could be a money-losing venture in Superman that you need to do and you need to put out? Or are you going to be running and scampering around? If you're of the desperate mentality when that movie comes out, then like we said last night, 300-400 million may not do it for you. But that may be the first step that's necessary to get you to these other numbers that you want to be. Or what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be cutting your streaming input? You cut your once Warner Brothers starts cutting things that are not going to HBO Max, that's when it's time to make a change. Because like I said, you can look up at the sky as a dinosaur and hope that meteorite's not going to have an effect on your life. Streaming is coming. Streaming will be the focal point. It won't wipe out cinemas, but it will be the main money focal point for a lot of these guys, because they get the money quicker, they get more of it quicker, and they get the percentages that they desire, which is why you'll never hear those numbers, by the way. So yeah, I just don't think that these current people that are running these companies are the people for them anymore, for what the future holds. And WBD is chief among them, as far as probably needing some fresh young blood with a fresh outlook and possibilities. For that reason alone. If for that reason alone, to me, I think some of these companies need to make a change sooner than later.
Actually, there was something I saw today. I think it was THR put this out. There's a little bit about little bit of a financials update with WB Discovery, but let me see if I can find it. But yeah,
That's the
I'll
one
go
I
ahead.
was referring to. Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah, yeah.
it was talking about like their profits are like 70% like drop from like last year or something, which that's like, I mean, no wonder their stock is so horrible right now. Let me see if I can find it here. Or is William go? Did William go to try to find it? Okay. You see what? I'm going to check you guys out in the comments while until William gets back. Streaming starting to get okay. Oh, it was back. Okay. Let me see if I can find the Zaslav thing I was talking about.
That's a problem that needs to be fixed by investment. People are unsubscribing because they haven't met the volume needed. You cannot cut back. If you cut back on your content, of course you're going to lose subscribers. If there's shit that I subscribe to you for and you get rid of it, that might mean I'm leaving. So this is where I think these guys are all going to have to take it in the balls or wherever and spend the money to upgrade the content that is in your streaming service. You can't try to chase the Netflix model without doing the things that Netflix did to perfect the model. There is no going back. They can sit in their boardrooms and fucking lie to themselves and saying, "Well, we're gonna need to do no." The answer is not to cut back. The answer is to go all in. To go all in. This cutting back is going to cost you subscribers, and the one thing that can bring you that static income on a monthly basis. Where are you putting that money? What frequency is the box office going to get you to get you where you want to be financially? It's not. It's impossible.
By the way, speaking of box office, just real quick interjection, because when I went and saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and it had and it was a Thursday show, so I mean, I don't know how necessarily what barometer you can give for that as far as projections, but I mean, it had a decent turnout, but I mean, again, the parking lot just doesn't fill up like it used to, like as recently as pre-pandemic, and again, that's not the fault of any. Yeah, that's not anybody's fault. It's not the fault of the theaters or anything, but it's just a sign of the times is shifting in terms of like how the public is consuming so much of our media, and even big blockbusters, and so the studios, they just need to bear this in mind, and not like look at something like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and say it's like, oh, this and again, this is without like knowing like what the final tally is going to be or anything, but yeah, I mean, if it like underperforms like what Dawn, I think, did 740, something like that. If it comes in like 300, you don't look at that now and say, let's like this is just a sign that the franchise is just circling the drain now. No, it's a sign that the apparatus or the matrix of how our culture and how the world consumes our entertainment now is just, especially with the pandemic, the impact of that has just shifted so much because of the introduction of streaming, because of the effects the pandemic had on all that, because of economics, because all these other factors. It's not an indicator of an individual movie or theaters themselves just becoming obsolete or being failures outright. There's more to it than that. So, but yeah, I did want to inject that real quick.
All right, we got a tip from Meat Night Meatowitz. I have a request. Please play Skeletor Has a Pleasant Day from YT because I'm having one too. I guess it's going to be one of those things that he one of those songs.
Okay. So I found it, by the way. I found the THR Zazzle thing. But before I bring that up, there was actually another THR thing I found that I'm going to pull up real quick. Harvey Weinstein will remain jailed in New York while ringing a trial. Yeah, and the reason why he is because he doesn't want Aaron to come out and kick him. So you are you're definitely doing the Lord's work there, Aaron. Okay.
Yeah, I addressed this at the beginning of the stream, Ray, but I'm going to go ahead and put the link into the. By the way, there's a Patreon link for those of you who are patrons or want to be patrons. And here's the link to tomorrow. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Beekeeper. That will be the movie we do for the Patreon stream tomorrow. And then we'll do some more on Saturday. To get caught up with the pledges.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the one I'm talking about with Warner Brothers and everything. Yes, so
Doubt
Warner
I'm ever
Bros.
going to have a rap song opening to the intro, guys. Sorry. I just don't get the feeling. I connect with the one that he made for me because that's preferential to me. But yeah, rap and country
Yeah,
music,
I do too.
probably
I do too.
never. Sorry.
Warner Bros. Discovery hits 86 million streaming profit, 99.6 million subs. Studios profit drops 70%. Now, do you want me to go ahead and pull the article up? Oh, okay, William, step away for a second.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Real quick though, Aaron, look at that deal that Max Disney. God, I hate that name so much. Max, Disney Plus, and Hulu is created for people to have a bundle deal for the streaming service. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do it's because all of those I have on an annual subscription. So
I got them all.
Yeah, but those don't renew for me until the fall. So it's like, and as I said with Max, it's like, I mean, it's exactly what we were talking about a minute ago. Where like just stripping so much content off there. It's like, and so much of it. It's like, I mean, the main thing that got me there. It's like I have 7 physical copies of and 1 digital copy, and then so much of the with DC stuff they're moving elsewhere. They took Warrior, one of my favorite shows off of there, and moved to Netflix. So much of it's like I don't even know what it's like. What's keeping me there anymore at this point? So I might not auto renew HUMX, like barring any kind of big
Which
changes.
is a damn shame. That's a damn shame because why are you not making a major play and investment into that platform? Why are you cutting back? You cannot listen. You can't get halfway into the cockpit and fly. You're either in or you're out. Either pull the plug on all streaming or go all in. There's this middle ground shit is where this article is leading to. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the article. And by the way, Erin also says for my Weinstein thing, I pulled up with her. Nothing. Again, nobody's gonna. I don't think we're gonna get any hate mail for Aaron kneeing a Harvey Weinstein. So.
It's still assault. So yeah, you just.
Yeah, but I mean, what God? I mean, like, would she get prosecuted? I mean, I don't know.
For kicking an elderly man on a walker, yeah, she's gonna get the book slammed.
Yeah, but that particular elderly man is like, no, I don't know. The cops might look the other way on that one. Okay, let me pull up the article right now. Or like, even if he ended up before a judge, Aaron, he's probably like at worst he'll like let you off with like maybe like a $10 fine. That's the worst he'll get. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So, Warner Brothers Discovery hits 86 million streaming unit profit, 99.6 million subs. Studio profit dropped 70%. David Zaslav company posted a first quarter drop, 11% in networks unit advertising revenue. Its studio's unit was hit by strikes following weaker gaming results. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav on Thursday argued the future of studio Wire TV streaming landscape will be driven by the increased packaging and marketing of streaming products together. As we look at what happens ahead, there will likely be a restructuring of how people view content. Yeah, as we were just saying. And there's a lot of irrationality in the market that's getting shaken out in terms of the amount of money spent. We said early on, it's not how much, it's how good, and that's what we're focusing on. And ultimately, the business will look very different in 2 or 3 years, as I've told analysts during a morning call, as rival streamers increasingly move to bundle their offerings together. After releasing their first quarter earnings results, and William, yeah, I'll read through the whole thing. You kind of, again, like the last one we did, just kind of give me your overall thoughts on what we kind of see out of this. WBD execs talked about a proposed streaming bundle, partnerships with rival studios, including a sports streaming pact with Disney and Fox to better serve cost-conscious consumers. The goal is the media conglomerate working with rival studios to squeeze profitability out of their direct-to-consumer platforms in the face of competition against marketing leaders Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. On a proposed triple bundle, this is exactly what Aaron was laying out, of Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max. Zaslav told analysts it will be priced well, it will be both ad-light and on ad-free, and for consumers in the U.S., it will be a really positive consumer experience and gives us a real advantage and opportunity when you look at the marketplace. Earlier, Warner Bros. Discovery posted a first quarter profit of $86 million for a direct-to-consumer unit, which includes a streaming and premium pay TV services compared with a $50 million profit a year ago after turning a full year 2023 profit earlier this year. Now, William, you could probably lay out the dynamics of their profit margin there better than I can, but let's break down the numbers a little bit here. The company said Thursday that it ended March with 99.6 million global streaming subscribers compared with 97.6 million at the end of 2023 and ahead of Wall Street expectations. Segment revenue was nearly unchanged at 2.46 billion, helped by subscriber prices increases and higher advertising revenue driven by Max US ad light subscriber gains.
Yep, mark that. When we go over the whole thing, mark that, because that's one of the problems.
The whole 99 million subscribers.
Here's the problem: his profit and his growth is based on things that are not good, in my opinion. Your profit and your growth is part of it. Just at least that part is because you raised prices, not because you maintained volume and increased your volume of customers. So you're basically dealing with a either at or lower subscriber base, but because you raised the prices, you maintained a certain dollar amount. That's not good. That doesn't mean that's not good for your customer. So basically, you're getting less content and you're getting charged more. And under those circumstances, people are going to leave, which is going to hit
just what I was just saying. Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, go. With Netflix profitable and being seen by some observers as the king of streaming, I think by all observers, but okay. Wall Street has been looking for Hollywood conglomerates to make their streaming business units profitable after initial focus on subscriber growth. Most sector giants ended 2023 with a ways to go. On the analyst call, Zaslav argued Disney and WBD, with their triple play content package, wanted to put themselves at the center of a streaming bundling push by the entertainment industry to reach and retain consumers. Two of the world's most storied content companies are joining forces to deliver consumers the best and most diverse offering of entertainment at a very attractive price, he told analysts about the Disney Plus Hulu Max initiative. WBD and Disney plan to combine the Disney Plus Hulu and Max streaming services with specific pricing to be determined, with the promise of both ad-free and ad-supported options of the bundle. Elsewhere, Zaslav touted a move by telecom giant Verizon to roll out a $10 per month deal that includes the ad tiers of both Netflix and Max. The bundle with Netflix is doing much better than expected, he reported. JB Parrott, CEO and president of global streaming and games for WBD, argued on the morning call that bundling streaming services made both financial and creative sense after early streaming arms race. What happened in the 2010s is the industry went down a very dangerous financial path of trying to invest in every type of content in every genre to try to be something for everyone. He argued of Hollywood's peak TV experiment having left consumers with too much content at too much cost and having to cut back. The Disney Plus Hulu Max bundle aims
but okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that myself. The Disney Plus Hulu Max bundle aims to battle increased competition in the streaming space, which has TV viewers cycling onto and out of streaming platforms to view their favorite content. Churn is just the killer in this business, and so we have to be hyper-focused on it. Certainly bundling is a big helper, Zaslav argued.
All right, hold up. Stop.
Okay.
If the model that you are chasing, churn's not a problem for them. I mean, Netflix does not have the problem that you guys are having. You guys they're studios. You have the production apparatus in place to create content. Netflix, that's something that they came on later for them. So if the industry standard is not having these issues, why wouldn't you question why you guys are? Netflix, even if Netflix were to have a 15% cut back, they would still be way further along in content creation than these guys are that are chasing them. And the consolidation in this bundling deal doesn't solve the main problem. Because if you don't have enough on for me to stay on, I'd leave. You could combine them all together. If all of you combined are not, I'm not going to, increase the output, and you're going to make a slightly more expensive. I'm literally under every circumstances that comes out in this article and what they're thinking of. I'm paying more for less.
Yeah,
you may think I'm paying more for more because, you're going to give me Hulu, you're going to give me this. But for the most part, that price increase is going to negate things because you're doing everything in your power to keep me, to keep me from not subscribing. Because the main thing that will keep me there is content flow. And that's something that has not been addressed by any of these guys in any of these articles.
And what's I'm really curious, and maybe we'll address this as we go further in the article. But with that bundle, because all three of these streamers, like I have an annual subscription too, so it's the one charge per year. Then you just pay it all up front, which is how I personally prefer to do it with the streaming platforms. Really, like any bill that was like I can pay it that way. It's like because I like the idea of like, okay, here you go, here's your money, leave me alone for next year. But I'm kind of curious: is that annual subscription fee in this bundle going to be an option, and what is that going to be? Because that's bundling three streaming services, and each has their own individual annual subscription rates. So is that going to how are they going to parse that with
I
the
think
three of
the
them
annual
in that bundle?
subscriptions are going away. I would guess. I'm not just a guess,
In general, or just with these?
In general, because of the fact that it does not allow for them to adjust on the fly and by the quarter.
Okay.
You have to basically wait for annual revenue to come in to see what kind of adjustments you make. And if I'm a streamer, the worst thing is for me is to not be able to like do what they said. They fluctuate. If things change, I can't change my financial dynamic because I have these set in stone rates versus and if you're not going to go over for the volume, then you're basically going a different direction as far as getting the most out of that consumer. So the month price, I mean, because you get a discount when you do annually. They're not looking to that. They're looking to go the other way. So yeah, I think I have no inside authority, but I do think because of the greed factor and the fact that they're willing to do everything but create content and spend money on content. See, that's the thing. Eventually, you can get this whole word salad and spin it around and do all this crazy shit and say all this stupid shit. But at the end of the day, the customer understands there's just not enough for me to stay with you.
Well,
if you want me to stay with you, create more stuff.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was saying a minute ago. We're like, again, the main thing that got me to sign up for HBO Max, the Snyder Cut. It's okay. I now have a digital copy and multiple physical copies of. Okay, so that kind of takes that out of the equation for them. They pulled so much of the DC content. I mean, a lot of it's still there, but they've also they've shopped it around to other streamers that I have. So okay, I could pull it up there if I want to. Again, Warrior, big show has been to. That's been. It was third season was running on Max, then it ended. Now they moved to Netflix and potentially might continue there on Netflix. So much of like what was my motivation for my Max subscription was just it's just being whittled down so much. And it's like, I mean, so I think look at when it I have the annual, it'll renew this fall. So it's like, but again, I have to ask myself, it's like, what am I getting enough bang for my buck out of this?
You're definitely not getting your bang for an annual lump sum, no. But what I would contend is that not only that, they're just not creating enough content. They're not creating enough new content. Yeah, great. It's great.
Yeah, and that could offset that if like they're creating content like I'm really invested in.
But I hear these guys in these articles, we're going to cut back, we're going to refine this, we're going to do that. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking hear that. I have every one of these streaming platforms. The last thing I want to hear is that you're going to give me less for what I'm paying and you're going to charge me more. Even a customer who's never been in an executive office, part of any type of business structure, a customer can figure out that that's probably not something that they want to be a part of. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let me really. There's one. Also, what Clint had a comment here I want to highlight before I read this. This is probably the best Traw comment I've seen in the comment section. I like big Traws and I cannot lie. Yes.
I'm sorry, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Well, I think this is actually inspired by in your Sim Mix-a-Lot style song. I like the three big D's and I cannot lie. You, our brothers can't deny.
Okay, this was not on the bingo card. I don't know where the fuck we got back references coming up. So
they got the article here. Yes, smash the like button, guys. Okay, back to the article here. Perret added major studios and streamers had to focus on their strengths to stay in their lanes for competitive advantage rather than splash out on originals in all genres as part of an all-out war between studios and firms in the streaming space. I know William is definitely going to take issue with that. We're now getting back to all being great at what we do and swim in the lanes that we were great in. Disney obviously is incomparable.
That's translation. We feel safer being pussies when we do taking chances and making investments. That's translation of what that means.
Disney obviously isn't comparable and a world leader in Kids and Family. We're world leaders in premium drama, scripted drama, comedy, and nonfiction verticals, and we can get back to investing in and prioritizing our lanes and our key content. And they can do that. And these bundles synthetically allow us to do that while providing the customer with a very attractive price for the combination of products, he argued. On the sports front, Williams brought this up multiple times. Zaslav talked briefly about Warner Bros. Discovery looking to retain NBA media rights as they come up for renewal.
Bitch ass better. You motherfucker. You better sell blood plasma. You better sell organs. You need to do this. Should be real easy on your part, because without it, a lot of this cutback shit is going to get a lot worse, because that ad revenue and those ratings and that leverage that having live sports and NBA and that demo gives you. You lose. There should even be no consideration about you losing that. You better pay the price, or it's gonna fucking hurt the other way. But yeah, find a way, mofo.
We're in continuing conversations with the NBA now, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to reach an agreement that makes sense for both sides. That didn't sound very inspiring, he told analysts. Zaslav added, WBD has matching rights to answer the third-party offers as the NBA hold media rights negotiations with other players. That also didn't sound very inspiring.
Well, that's fine, but he better match them. That's the thing. He has the option to match them. If he doesn't match them, they can take that offer.
Yeah, he has the option, but he also is known for being a tightwad. So
this ain't Discovery, dude. This ain't Pimple Pop.
I know, I agree, but it's like I'm not the one who needs convincing here.
Zaslav, if you're watching this show, the world that you came from, you need to understand that's in the past. You stepped into you went from fucking Uranus to Jupiter. You're in a different world. There is no. It should be how are we keeping the NBA, not if or we hope. None of that hope shit. None of that luck shit. You boy.
What do you think will happen? What do you think? Before I go any further, what ramifications would you foresee happening if they actually don't retain NBA rights?
The stock is going to take another hit.
How much further can it drop?
Outright revenue hits, because that's we're talking about. They have the NBA on NBC because of the ad revenue it generates worldwide, and the ratings leverage it gives you worldwide, and the TV, a lot of the stuff that the viewership, and even now they're putting it on HBO Max along with the NHL. That live sports is going to help a lot. It will buy you the time to make the proper investment into your content. Because even I'm watching NHL, I'm watching NBA on Max, because the TNT and TBS they suck, and it's a lot more streamlined on Max. So yeah, it will be a big blow, and it would change the perception of the company, because this many years they basically cultivated NBA on TNT with those brand names over the last 20 years. If you can't hold on to something like that you basically inherited by walking in the door, there's a lot that's going to say a lot about this company. So yeah, they better make that happen, dude.
So go back to the article. Should a new owner of Paramount Global auction off Paramount Plus, Zaslav said his studio would be ready to pick up new sports and entertainment content that came up for offer in the event of studio breakup. We're always looking for great content. I think we can provide better consumer experience and strengthening our offering.
Stop. I'm sorry. You're struggling. You're struggling to try to decide whether you're going to pick up the NBA contract. Now, the only way you could even entertain not picking up the NBA is if you're going to pick up Paramount's NFL contract, if that carries over. That's the only way. If you say, hey, you know what, 25 years we gave up Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith and all these other guys, NBA, but we got the NFL. Because the NFL, there are NFL games, but I don't know if it was you're talking about good ad revenue, but you're also talking about Paramount and CBS have limited games. TNT can put out 2-3 games a week, which consolidates your ad revenue, and then you have the playoffs where it really goes up, because your local TV station, like as a Laker fan, if I were watching if my team hadn't taken the gas pipe, But if I were watching the Lakers go deep into it, once they reach a certain round, my local LA network, they don't air them anymore. So all that revenue, all that exclusivity goes to the national companies that carry them. So that's the only way I could see this as feasible. But I don't even think he would be, if he's struggling to decide whether he wants to take the the NBA contract. The NFL contract is going to cost him a lot more. So I don't know where we're going with this, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one more other quick comment from Clint that also made me laugh here. I think Brad hugs his copy of the Raid one day and the Snyder Cut the next.
He's also saying the chat died. I don't. My chat's still.
Yeah. He asked previously, "Do I sleep on my copies?"
Yeah, I see him. I get the sense that Clint is not interested. He does not. He's always expressed he does not like the business dynamics. I've always told people that without this, you don't have the stuff that you want us to be talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't happen,
I will say the night May 20th, the night where the anniversary we're going to celebrate here in 10 days. Like I slept good that night when we got that news. I didn't even have the movie with me yet.
I didn't even sleep that night. I was on so many. I was watching so many streams because I wanted to hear from the people that we had fought for this with. I wanted to hear them talk. A lot of people. It was just a fun night. I'm going to have a fun night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely plan to. Where was I? I think okay. Yeah, we're always looking for great content. If we think it can provide a great, better consumer experience and strengthen our offering, we're always looking at opportunities. Told analysts during the first quarter, WB's quarterly earnings report showed weakness at its studios and network segments. Though studios results were hit by fewer TV shows delivered in the year ago period during the Hollywood strikes fallout, as well as a weaker performance of video gaming. The first
this isn't the charity one, Fourth. This is the Patreon one. So no one had to request this one.
Okay.
Sorry.
The first quarter of 2023, the video game Hogwarts Legacy did very well, making for a tough comparison. While in the latest quarter, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League didn't do well, hitting revenue and earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Studio revenue fell 13% to $2.82 billion, with EBIT, whatever the hell, dropping 70% to $184 million. Games revenue was down significantly, WB said, while TV revenue declined meaningfully as production delays resulting from the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes led to fewer episodes delivered during the first quarter of this year, as well as the timing of content availabilities and licensing deals. Theatrical revenue, however, increased significantly due to Doom Part 2. I know William loves that part. And higher carryover from the fourth quarter 23 titles, the company noted. Home entertainment revenue grew materially due to Wonka and Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom.
All right, we can go ahead and stop. We can go ahead and ditch this article because it's more of him basically.
Well, it's got like 800 more,
Yeah, it comes down to this. We're trying to figure out ways to squeeze you for more money by giving you less. That's what it comes down to. So all those words come down to. We're going to consolidate, cut this, cut that, shave this, shave that. But at some point in the game, somebody is going to have to understand that you get what you pay for. You get what you put into it. And if you are going to try to cut what you put into it, the people are going to leave. They should have learned this lessons with Game of Thrones. Like I always bring up, prime example, and this should be the lesson that everybody who attracts somebody with something like that and wants to keep them, you need to have more shit available. HBO, after the last episode of the original Game of Thrones went off the air, they lost 52% of their male demographic. If I'm running a company and I see that, I want that to never happen again. I need to be creating demographic content that keeps them in. From when this is done, this comes in. This is over, that comes in. And I can't be, if you're wanting to make at 99, let's just say 100 million subscribers is what they have. What's 100 million times what? $16 a month they charge?
Yeah, so that's let me do the math. You're asking me to do math. That's not.
No, I'm asking
16.
you to use a calculator. Trust me, my dumb ass.
Okay. That is. That would be what? That'd be. Oh, damn it! Like I got.
It's about $1 billion a month, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be one. Yeah, 1.6 billion a month. Yeah.
Okay, and that's not even where you want to top out at. So 1.6 billion a month. Why would you not be investing to not only maintain that, but grow that? Because remember, the one thing that these guys skate around, and it seems to be a big problem, is retention. Retention is almost as important as growth. Growth is a bonus. Growth is great, but you can't always get growth. But what you want to do is continue to make your case with the people who have already bought in with you. So why wouldn't you make significant investments in new content to keep that? Why would you try to consolidate that?
And by
Why
the way,
would you send a message to their customer that this is a message that we're going to cut back, but we want you to stay. Oh, for more money.
that 1.6 billion monthly that I just did the math. Now that comes out to 19.2 billion annually. So that's over the 12-month period. So 19.2 billion.
Unless you're Disney, who has 38 billion in park revenue. Unless you're Disney, it's a fair point. Unless you are Disney, nothing you do as a studio is going to generate that type of revenue. Disney during the height of the Infinity Quest was not going to pull in that kind of money with their studio. So you have that cow sitting in front of you, showing you the way. To me, it's criminal not to invest into that and to keep me in. That's the biggest thing. It's like you have an opportunity to pull in anywhere between 12 to 19 billion a year, which nothing you do is going to generate that kind of revenue. And that kind of revenue is stability. You know what stability leads? More people buying your stock. More people buying your stock and not selling your stock means your stock price goes up. Guess what? Right there, without taking anything from a subscriber, the value of your company could triple just based on the prestige of that stability, because stock people want stability. I want to know that what $7.40 today is not going to be $3.30 tomorrow. And if it goes up to 21, it's not going to plunge based on any given decision. That stability, people will put their money in places where it's safe. And that type of revenue on an annual basis, that you're a safe bet now. That's why Netflix is able to spend the money that it is and actually go into the negative as far as operating costs, not as a overall, but operating costs, because the people who buy into Netflix know that they generate so much revenue that they're good for whatever debt that they have. Warner Brothers is in $29 billion debt, and they're going to cut back on the thing that can actually get them closer to where they need to be. I'm a fucking moron, and that sounds stupid to me. So, hey, there you go, guys. Let's get some of the chat.
Yeah, we're down some more financials tonight. It's like, it's just like everything we kind of, the commentary we've had on that just kind of leaves me wondering more. It's like, okay, I mean, as of April,
we don't need to talk piracy, but we're gonna watch it tomorrow. I'll have it on the screen. I'll have it on screen.
Yeah, it's on like Amazon Prime now. So, yeah, because I think as of April they could officially do another merger, and it's just all the commentary, because we just dance around. I think probably, I think we maybe are like some of the YouTubers or the guys who kind of fixate or focus, maybe is the better word, on the side of it the most. Is like, it's just, when is this latest sale going to happen? Because everything just keeps just pointing to, it's like, this company just doesn't. They're just making bad decision after bad decision, and they're not on stable ground. Their stock is in the toilet. And they're legally able to do another merger now. Just when are you going to rip off the Band-Aid on that?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to be a merger or whether it's going to be like, you know what? We're not the ones that's going to usher in this new era. We've had our time. Let's take our hundreds of millions of dollars. He'll have another bonus, have another 40 million bonus by the time, take a severance package and go away. I don't think personally, there's nothing against David Zaslav. I just don't think that there's certain things that certain people are good at and they can do, and there's a certain length, a certain distance that you can take something before you are no longer suited to take it any further. And that's why I feel about a lot of these guys, is I think that what they're at the limits of what they can do. They are at the limits of their imagination. They are at the limits of their way of doing business as it pertains to the modern era. I think that most of these guys, they're not bad people, but they've done all they could do with what they are. And I think it's time for someone else, whether it be via merger or just a new hiring of somebody with a visionary to come in and take these companies in directions, that are outside the box. So that's what I feel. All right, a bunch of dumb old jokes in the chat. Wow. Thank you guys for bringing the creativity, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bane or Venom. I mean, you're kind of leaving William alone tonight. Yeah. Knock on wood.
Now they'll be on their way now.
Or Williams Burger. It's like, yeah, what, where are you, man? You're such a good presence in the chat.
Maybe they sat in a dark room all alone and realized just how silly it was. Let's bring up that thing for Larry. What you do? Your it is. One more request. He put one in just to see if William likes this more than the original. Just search for Batman the Animated Series intro 3D. Just found this pretty awesome. So we got a request for Skeletor. Has a pleasant day.
Oh, is this the from the song
I think
channel? So. Okay, I'll look that up. Skeletor has a pleasant day.
And I love Chris Rock stand up, dude. Rolling with the Pain. I literally hurt my rib cage laughing at that stuff. 1996.
What was the yeah, he did a few that I thought were really hilarious when I was first discovering him. Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty funny guy all told. I wish we could play some without getting pulled down. Stand up. Okay, is it by Schnazzy One or I think that's what. Yeah, cause that's the one I was seeing right here. 2 million views. That's probably it. It has 2 million views. Oh, it's not the same channel. Okay, so it is. So this is the Predator we kill it guys. That's probably my favorite one that they did though. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good one. Okay, stop playing the ads so I can look at guys. Okay, here it is. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. Go ahead and hit play now.
I can't remember when I've had a more pleasant day.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was going to end with him like running into the cave, like that meme.
That was it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that was it. Yeah, that's probably a good guess. Like, is he on edibles or something? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was nothing about him laughing and cackling about God knows what, man.
Batman the Animated Series from 3D or Batman intro 3D.
Wait, what is this? Is that in the comments?
Yeah, no, he did a request on just search for Batman the Animated Series intro 3D.
Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, I think I might have seen this one actually. Yeah, they're probably trying to win you over more to Batman the Animated Series.
Not going to happen, but let's give it a try.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Get that volume up. Here we go. That's actually pretty good. That was pretty damn good there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the animation kind of reminded me of do you remember like Cartoon Network when they had that Green Lantern 3D animated series? I never got really that much into it because I don't know, it just kind of felt a little bit. It kind of felt a little like Buzz Lightyear to me, but that animation style reminded me a little bit of that. But that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
William was seething watching not really. Like I said, I see not at the cartoon. I see at the influence that the cartoon had.
It's like I can feel the hate from William on that. Yeah, you guys are just like in the comments, like with Palpatine, like I can feel your anger growing, Jedi.
I can feel the no kill rule just being born right in that intro. It's like,
well, I mean, even aside from like your thoughts on the show, or or maybe more accurately, like the legacy of the show. I mean, it always had a really good intro. It had a really good intro, though. It had a really
into itself. It was not a bad achievement. Its influence is what made it like Crisis. Crisis wasn't garbage, but what the consequences of Crisis is what I can't stand. The consequences of New 52, the consequences of Death of Superman. These stories unto themselves may have been great stories. I'll leave that up to the consumer. It's the consequences that each of these stories had. That like I said, especially with Superman as a dealer, when like I said, we went to the fluff 90s and we decided we wanted to print 1 million of everything, and it collapsed. At the entire industry was a near collapse. Marvel had to sell off its kidneys and its lungs to basically stay alive. So yeah, so when I go after these things, it's not necessarily the thing I'm going after; it's the influence. You don't know how many people I run into. Like I said, I am not a violent person, and you guys don't have to worry about me choking someone to death. But when you stand within arm's reach of me and say that cartoon is definitive Batman, it's really hard for me not to embrace your trachea. It's so hard. It's still, I can do it in my head because I don't want to go to prison. But in my mind, I am twisting your head around. It's just, ugh. So yeah, that's the issue, not the content itself, but the influence that it had, because those things carry over. And if your studio is inept boneheads, they don't know their IP, that influence carries over into people who should know better. So there. Yes, Aaron. Batman goes in his first
Aaron,
2 pages. Yeah. Remember I said that when Batman throws the guy into the acid and says fitting in for that type.
My favorite counter argument to that has always been, and this admittedly isn't comics wise, but it's movies, but it is, again, you never saw the consternation of this to the extent like BVS got or anything. Is in Batman Returns, the Batman shoves the bomb down the guy's pants and just smiles about it.
Pushes him, yeah. Or how about the Ace Chemical Company? Those guys are dead. You didn't see a bunch of guys
you mean when the Batmobile goes there, the little grenade, the grenade comes off the wheel, and like,
wow,
those guys are goners.
Yeah, I'm glad we got out in time. No, they're dead. All right, and even if he doesn't outright kill, he does things that should cause death. The Penguin should be dead right now. The Penguin's role in the Batman should have ended when that car flipped. That particular model of car, you're dead. All right.
No, that guy, the gang fight at the beginning of the Batman, that leader, it's like that
guy.
If that guy's alive, he's got a lesion. He's got internal bleeding. He's got he's got 8 contusions all over his face.
Brain damage because he was hitting him as hard as he could.
Well, not just that, but he was hitting as hard as he could with with the brass knuckles and gauntlets on his wrists. So
yeah. like I said, I'm not a big. I've never been a big fan of Bale's Batman. I'm a big fan of Christian Bale as an actor, but his Batman didn't do anything for me. You know, I was never paying
What's
money
with the
to see him
voice?
Batman.
What's
It
with
was
the
just
voice
the whole
talking like this too much?
everything that the
Where's the trigger? You never give it to an ordinary citizen.
everything that the Batman was, as far as atmosphere and aesthetics, is everything that Batman isn't. It's just that atmosphere when he's coming into that crime scene and all those cops are looking at him like they want to kill him and they know they can't do shit.
The one guy says "Happy fucking Halloween." I love
Yeah.
that. I love that so much because it's like they're cashing their F-bomb right away. They're one they get for PG-13, and yeah, those cops. Other than Gordon, like those cops just would like nothing.
Yeah,
more
they
than
just all wanted to get him in opening monologue,
and then they follow that up. And then they follow that up when he's in the holding cell, after he got knocked out by the explosion, like midway through, and he has a little tiff with the cops, and one of them says, "I can get you on assaulting an officer," and he tells me, "You can get me on assaulting 3."
Okay, Meatowitz has another one. The animated series 3D, but by the channel Nimrod Animations.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Nimrod Animations. Okay.
Wonder Woman definitely kills. Wonder Woman takes heads.
She's never. I mean, she's an Amazon, for God's sakes. It's like she has never had. She carries a sword.
Yeah.
She's raised in a warrior culture. It's like you couldn't implement a no-kill rule with Wonder Woman if you tried.
I know the like button reminders, but I'm thinking of incorporating self-care. So like, be sure to brush and floss every day. Drink at least 60 ounces of water. Cover your face in the sun. That's hilarious, actually, because I'm in the desert and it's about to be 100 degrees on a daily basis today.
Okay.
Or it'll reach 90 on Sunday. So good advice.
I think I got it here. Oh, man, it's. I've been trying to trim down, and I got with all the stuff I'm doing, helping out my dojo. So I'm training really hard, and I'm taking my bike everywhere lately. So then between you add those two together, and then with how again the summer heat is definitely kicking in. I probably lost like 10 pounds in the last week from that.
You're gonna see Brown's round face just turn into a square over the summer.
Yeah. All right, I think I found it. So here it is. Okay, here we go. Me also. I remember having that Batmobile toy car when I was a kid.
Not me.
Oh, I see. You were talking about this, a comparison. I love the fact they're all these 3D animated ones. They're all heavy metal versions of the soundtrack of the Batman theme.
That's actually really good animation.
Yeah. That is really awesome, man. That's really good. That is phenomenally good animation. In fact, was this done like maybe inspired by the Batman with all the red? Yeah, that makes me wonder. Oh wow.
Okay, yeah, that's some violence that was not.
Well, he's gonna throw a Molotov cocktail at Batman.
He just ran. He just put a guy's face into the concrete. Wow, that's a nuclear. Wow, fuck that last second's like, oh,
that
shit.
was awesome.
I hadn't seen that before.
That was a really good one. Let me see the 9. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering. Yeah, it says 9 months ago. I'm kind of wondering if it was.
Oh
maybe,
it probably was
influenced a little bit by the Batman with all the red and the Batman cinematography.
Yeah, that was a nice high frame rate. All right, guys. I that's where we're going to end it tonight because I got to get some sleep. I got all kinds of maintenance issues I got to deal with at several different levels, and then I got to be in place and ready for our watch along 4 p.m. I will post the StreamYards link in the Patreons for the patrons that will be our co-host, and then I will create another internal link so that we can actually watch it without broadcasting. So we will not be broadcasting, but I want to be able to watch this with you guys, and I know not everybody is going to have the ability to necessarily rent it, so I'm going to make it available through means internally so that everybody who's with us tomorrow will be able to click on something to be able to watch it somewhere where it won't get us kicked off the internet. I don't want to be Brad. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and flip through these just to lighten them. A little bit is
Oh yeah,
already light.
yeah. We have. Yeah, I didn't like that Weinstein. Yeah, nobody. I'm telling you, give us a Joss Whedon one. Nobody is gonna object to that. Yeah, I
Somebody
love
wanted me to do
The
Puff
Leonidas
Daddy.
one's so perfect because it's like your knee is going right up into his crotch, Aaron.
Is it Sparta? Which one? Where is that one at? Oh, no,
Yeah,
they're Vegas. Well,
oh yeah,
I mean,
you got Vader, but you got to be careful. You might get your leg cut off there with his
yeah,
lightsaber.
I think the only one that you're actually winning off of this, Aaron, is going to be a Dora, and Weinstein are the only two ones that your response is probably going to wipe you out. But she's just permanently frozen. When we ever see her on camera, it's going to be so weird because I won't accept anything but this pose.
Yeah, Aaron, I'm telling you, you gotta when you finally do like your reveal like I did. It's like I'm telling you, gi on, sidekick position, hands up. You got to recreate that for us. That'd be so awesome.
Are you always wearing the gi? Because I'm just curious. I can't, like I said, if I see you in like a Metallica shirt, it's just gonna be weird to see you. But and you're not doing this.
Oh, Droga has one here. Well, the Sasha Kai is pretty.
Wow.
She's a pretty lady. I gotta think that's a.
So now I got to do one with her fighting her. Okay.
Sasha Kai. It's like I need to see her in Cavill Superman. You know, we got to make that happen as part of like conclude and resolve the Snyderverse.
No, man.
That's gotta be
I know what I want and desire, but then I look. We just read an article with the mindset of these fucking people.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, again, that's like make that merger happen. Like bring in like the leadership that like understands everything. The world and the landscape having changed like they have.
I'm tired of people who don't have to be cheap asses being cheap asses. This is an investment, guys. This streaming shit is tied to everything, and to me, that article is. People are like, well, why are we having to make cuts, or why is the stock where it is? Well, because you're not investing into the things that people want to see right now. People right now want the convenience of streaming. They just don't want retreaded stuff on stream. They want new stuff on streaming. They want that investment to be special. Give them something. To me, right now, once again, it's an absolute federal crime not to have Game of Thrones. There should be a gap until Game of Thrones flame fades out, and I don't think it's going to. There should be 3 months maximum between one season of Game of Thrones this and another season of Game of Thrones that. And that seems to be the aggressive mindset just isn't there. And it's like, damn. And you want to give me all a 10,000 word paragraph that just basically comes down to you don't want to make the investment necessary to go to that next stratosphere. That's what it is. So, all right, guys, that's it. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I should have probably put that in the flyer, but you guys know I'm in Vegas, so we're not, we're in East Coast time, Central. Everything we do is Pacific time. So every time you see specific, but you'll get the alerts. The YouTube, that's why I did it today. YouTube will alert you, and keep an eye on the Patreon chat. You will see a thing in it, and when you log in tomorrow, or when you come into YouTube tomorrow, I'll have the actual watching link for you, just you watchers, in the pinned to the top. So, all right, what's going on with the? What do you? This has to be is this something I can't see?
A hands, yellow heart. Oh, I think he is putting a bunch of emojis, but overseeing
is it an emoji? Is he doing the Rhea? Because I can never see her emoji.
Yeah, I think so. But it's like but she's one more try about it.
The word shut up. I'm not buying into the non-words, guys. If the words don't, I am very articulate when it comes to using English. If you notice, I don't use too much jargon. Period. So it don't exist. So let me see if that. I want to see what his emoji is. With that emoji, man. Oh, it's just a bunch of hands and hearts. Okay, got it. It's weird because we see it. It's just weird.
Oh, so it's like it's this thing and then it's the heart. Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for the tips, Larry. Thank you guys for contributing. And this so happy it's Thursday. Now it's Friday, and the two most important days of the week for me, Friday and Saturday. Saturday more than anything. I don't know if I'm going to be able to replicate last Friday, obviously, because that was free comic day, but I'm going to try my damnedest. I'm going to try. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Brad, got any last words?
Yeah, we just try everybody, and you'll see you tomorrow. And
Okay, do you have any last real words for everybody? Words that exist? Do you have any of those?
Real words? Oh, that's a good question. Let me see if I can think of anything like that.
Okay, I can see this. Let me go ahead and get the closing banner up ready because you're bound to say something
There
silly
it goes.
to Good Burgers. Oh, no? Okay, I beat you there. All right, guys. See you tomorrow for
The raid rules.
The raid is just the last dragon, just faster.